It's big dog season, and you can't stay still because you want it. Talk that talk, George. You still scraping your plate because you hungry. Talk that talk.
Good morning. Today it is Thursday. It is December the 5th. The year is 2024. It's a beautiful day. You can see the sun shining. I'm sitting in my sunroom. Beautiful day. About to cook breakfast and having a cup of coffee. So I'm sitting here waiting for my plumber to get here, which reminds me, where the hell is he at? He's supposed to be here by now. That's what I was waiting on before I did this video. I had a plumber coming over. Something's going on in the bathroom. You know, you gotta remind these people, because he told me this morning. Let's see the damn address, because he should have been here by now. Anyway, a little minor issue going on in one of the bathrooms that I can't fix, and I need a plumber to come fix it. But here, so house always problems. More house, more trouble. More house, more problems. But anyway, that should be easy to fix. But I had to call them back out. They had looked at this, and then I wanted to look at my hot water heater because I think while I'm waiting to make a decision, I might go to a tankless hot water heater, depending on if he can give me a good price for it. These guys, the guys I'm talking to, they're the really good plumbers. I've had a couple of different plumbers in this house, but I like these guys the best because they're younger and they can tackle more of the myriad of issues that come with owning one of these old raggedy houses. I had some older guys. All the plumbers that came over here were actually pretty good. But these guys, they come in as a team, and they can tackle stuff much quicker. Because I've had a few issues that I didn't quite understand. We were able to figure it out. And this is another one of the issues that they're going to have to figure out. They may have to cut through the wall in that bathroom, is what I'm thinking. But I'm not too sure. Maybe they might be able to fix it pretty simply, but I don't think so. I think they have to cut through that wall and get access to a drain pipe and snake it. It's on one side of the house. This house has multiple sides and bathrooms and a bunch of crazy shit going on over here with the way this house was built. We fixed one side of the bathroom, about 6, 7, 8 months. Now we have a similar issue on the other side of the house, so I already know what it is. And it all has to do when they put that new roof on the house. So, more money, more problems. No money, more problems. Anyway, I saw a report that kind of blew me away, and it said, the report was pointing out, somebody sent it to me and I saw it online. I saw a report. Another reason I can't mute this phone is Earl's upstairs showering, so I need to keep my eye and hear what's going on up there because something go wrong. Let's see, where am I? Oh, I saw a report that said the top 5 cities for black men to live. And I'm looking for it because somebody sent me, here it is. The top 5 cities. The best cities for black men in their 40s to live. Number 1 was Atlanta, Georgia. 2 was Washington, D.C. Number 3 was Charlotte. 4 was Houston. And 5 was New York City. So I'm looking at these cities and I'm thinking, well, first off, who comes up with this mess? Atlanta, Washington, D.C., Charlotte, Houston. Houston was number 4, New York City number 5. The problem I have with these cities, all urban cities, all expensive cities. Charlotte might not be that expensive. I ain't been to Charlotte in a minute because Charlotte might have jumped in price. I know Washington, D.C. is high as hell. New York City, Houston, and I live in Atlanta. I know what this shit costs. So as a black man or black person moving to one of these expensive cities in your 40s trying to find housing, employment, maybe going on dates with women or whatever. I just thought that was kind of odd. I don't think I want to go to live in the city. When I moved to Atlanta in 1989, it was a very reasonable city to live in. Right now, it's very expensive. So every time I meet somebody who comes in and tells me they're paying in rent, car insurance, and all this other this shit, and you gotta be very honest with y'all. When I live out in Tucker, Stone Mountain area called Smoke Rise. I found that it's much cheaper for me to live out here in this house than to live inside the city limits of Atlanta. And I lived inside the city limits of Atlanta for the past 30 years. So when I moved out here, this was a shock to me that things were cheap. Gas was cheaper, food was cheaper, everything's cheaper versus living in the city, and it's safer out here. It's safer. There's no crime. I don't know about y'all, but I'm looking at this top 5 list of places: Atlanta, Georgia, Washington, D.C., Charlotte, Houston, Texas, New York City. It should have been the top 5 places to get shot and killed if you're a black person in America. Because that's all I see on the news is in those cities with all the people getting shot and killed. Murders, mayhem, confusion, robbery. I don't think I want to run to a city and live. I mean, are these people suicidal or something? Are these reports trying to kill off black people? There got to be some other places to live where you don't have to worry about the cost of living, the expense, the crime, the craziness. There's got to be something a lot cheaper than those top 5 cities. One city that comes to my mind is Huntsville, Alabama. I think Huntsville is a great, beautiful city. Clean. I don't think they have the crime. I know they don't have the crime as bad as someone like Atlanta. I think Huntsville is a nice place. I also think Nashville, Tennessee can be good. It's growing. It's not a big city. You get a mixture if you like different climates. Tennessee gets winter and snow. I don't want no snow. Huntsville, you ain't getting no snow down in Huntsville, Alabama. Those are medium to small size cities where the cost of living is affordable. When I don't know about Nashville, I don't know if it's still as affordable as it used to be. I think that might have changed. You got a large country music, a lot of country music musicians, and that whole country music industry is in Nashville, so they might have pushed the cost of living up astronomically. And it's a beautiful city too. So Nashville, I don't know. I'm trying to think what else. Well, I also think Jacksonville Beach in Florida is if you like Florida, I think Jacksonville Beach is affordable. I don't know about Jacksonville, the city. But Jacksonville Beach is a separate city. I happen to like Jacksonville Beach myself personally. I think it's a beautiful city. So I think there's some options out there other than these same 5 damn cities that everybody keep running to. I noticed they didn't put Los Angeles on that damn list. They did not put Los Angeles on that list of top 5 places. I know they didn't because Los Angeles is high as fucking hell. And they didn't put Chicago on there. And I actually think Chicago is not a bad city depending on what side of town you're living on. I don't think Chicago is a bad city at all. The weather can sometimes be a little harsh in Chicago. But I don't know about necessarily the cost in Chicago. It might be more expensive than some of these other cities on this list. But overall, I do think you can have a good quality of life in Chicago. There's a lot to do. Now, out of all these cities, they rank Atlanta number 1. Yeah, we do like to do stuff other than chicken wings and hookah, and that's my problem with Atlanta. Unless you just come here to sit in strip joints, hookah bars, Restaurants, there's not a lot to do here in Atlanta. Bars, nightclubs. Just they got some churches you can go to, not Church's Chicken, but you know them Jesus loving churches, the Christian church. They got some of them places. I guess you can go sit up there, and if you like going to church on Sunday, or whatever they have service. I don't know. I ain't been just searching for a church, and who knows? No, it ain't planning on going on either. I don't know. I just find there are so many other cities that have so many other great opportunities where you don't have to risk getting shot and killed in Atlanta or Washington, D.C., Charlotte, Houston, Texas, or New York City. Now, Charlotte, I don't know what the crime is going on in Charlotte. I don't know much about that. I have relatives that live there. They seem to like Charlotte. I have friends who live in Charlotte. They seem to like it. But I know Houston, Texas, they got some deadly niggas over there. I see that on the news all the time. Now, if I had to choose between these cities, Atlanta, Washington, D.C., Charlotte, Houston, Texas, and New York City, I'd probably go to New York City if I was a young person looking for a new city. New York City has a ton to offer. They got some great airports to get the fuck up out of there. New York City, is it expensive? Possibly. Yeah, it's probably one of the most expensive cities on that list. But if I was a 40-something-year-old man in the middle of expanding my career, looking to move forward in a city that has a lot to offer, I think I'll choose New York City. You really don't need a car, so that expense you don't need, you would be burdened with. They have great public transportation in New York City. I think one of the things that I love about New York City is the transportation system. We have great airports from rail. You're closer to other cities to go do other stuff. New York does have a winter. I don't think it's just as harsh as Chicago winters. They do have snow there occasionally in New York City. I just think New York has a lot to offer. You have a lot of black people living in New York. I know I have a ton of people I know living in New York City, and they love it. So, if I were out looking for a place to live and I had to choose from the cities on that list, I would go to New York City versus Houston and Atlanta. That's for damn sure. Now, I've met a lot of people who moved to Atlanta recently. We still have a ton of people flocking to this city. I meet people every day who are moving to Atlanta. I meet them in the gym and various other places online, and it's still a major draw for people who want to come here. So obviously, the thing about Atlanta is once people get here and they've been here for a while, a couple years, they tend to leave. They tend to leave. They don't hang around. And that's very interesting. They tend to leave. They don't hang around here. They get the hell out of here. So if you're trying to put roots, go someplace around roots where you want to plant and really stay. I don't know if Atlanta's the city because so many people come here and then they leave. And it makes you wonder, why do so many people come into Atlanta and take off from here? I already know the answer. It's not what people think. At least in New York City, you're dealing with some somewhat sophisticated black people. And I know in Washington, D.C., I know you're dealing with some. Washington, D.C. has some very educated, and I probably would rank Washington, D.C. high on this list. The only thing about Washington, D.C. that concerns me is it is expensive as hell. I think Washington, D.C. might be more expensive than New York City. I could be wrong, but I know that Washington, D.C. is expensive and pricey. And you're going to spend a lot of money to live there, but you're going to spend a lot of money in all these cities on this list of places. Whether it's Washington, D.C., New York, Atlanta, all this shit high as hell. But I just think the quality of life, I take my chances in New York City. If it were me choosing off this list. But if it were me, really, I'd be looking for something off that ain't on this list. So I can have a normal life without having to be worried about the issues that come in these large urban cities. You know, these places can be deadly, dangerous, expensive. Just my thoughts. Do what y'all want to do. But I thought that was a very interesting list. I am about to get off here and go check on Earl to see what's going on. I need to cook breakfast too. It's almost 10:30. I must have slept in late today. I mean, time be flying by, y'all. Just a week ago was Thanksgiving. A week ago. And here we are, Thursday, December the 5th. Thanksgiving is done. I need to clean out my refrigerator because there's a few things left over for Thanksgiving that's about to hit the trash can. I'm like, okay, that's enough of this. All this message to go. But anyway, today is Thursday, December the 5th. The year is 2024. I look forward to y'all from the sun. As I moved, the sun moved. But it's the weather is cold here today. Right now it's 59, but this morning, 53 weather. This morning was in the 20s outside. We had some cool weather. It was this morning, I think it was like 20, it was in the 20s. 29 degrees, and then tonight it's going to get down to 24 degrees for Friday. Anyway, I got to get up, check on her on, cook breakfast, and then he just insists about going up all these stairs to go to the shower. We can shower right here on the first floor. But, and I got to clean up around here. I'm trying to decide I'm going to have Rosie come in here. It's not dirty, but it would be nice if she can come in here. But Earl, with him, she'd have to clean around him. But I said, you know what? Let me see. I might have her come this weekend. If not, if I can hold out another week. It's not dirty. I cleaned up over the past few days. Today is Thursday. I need to make my decision. She normally comes on Friday or Saturday. But anyway, today it is Thursday, December 5th. The year is 2024. Let me go up here and cook some breakfast. And I'll see you all later.